coriander along with loperamide for the diarrhea or psyllium for constipation. That's one. So remember, IBM, irritable bowel, IBS. High antioxidants, 2 tablespoons of spearmint also provides 2% the daily RDI. Now, this is from spearmint as in the leaf, not from the oil, this part, because there is no vitamin C in an essential oil ever. So never get tricked with that. According to research, spearmint shows excellent antioxidant activities against free radicals. In one study, extract from this herb prevented fat oxidation in meat and was as effective as the synthetic antioxidant BHT. Now, there's a mouthful. Butylated hydroxylene is a synthetic antioxidant that's used in processed foods and cosmetics. So it was more valuable than that. 3, may aid, now you girls listen to this one, hormone imbalances. This is pretty fascinating. So studies in women have shown that it can decrease the male hormone like testosterone while increasing female hormones necessary for ovulation. Now, the testosterone they're talking about is dihydrotestosterone, DHT, because the testosterone oxidates, which is also a big cause for prostate cancers in men. In a 30-day randomized study, 42 women with polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, who drank spearmint tea twice a day had lower testosterone levels and higher LH, which is luteinizing hormone, and FSH, follicle stimulating hormone levels, compared to women who drank a placebo tea. Now, you got to remember that there, at this particular one, we get onto the oils in a minute, but these studies are done on tea, but the essential oil is so much more powerful than the tea. So when you eat stuff that's unhealthy, what happens? Homocysteine, which is a free radical, can get inside the blood. So as it goes through the bloodstream, it damages your arteries and veins. That's what creates damage on the inside of the arteries and veins. So cholesterol will start to stick. Now, this, as I'm going to talk about in a minute, actually reduces cholesterol. So there's the bit of a background behind how it happens. It starts to create plaque, the histamine levels, which is anything that causes an inflammation in the body. LDL cholesterol is there to prevent your veins from the damage of the free radicals. So if we put LDL cholesterol over the injured part of the inside of the blood vessels, that this planting of that plaque is what's preventing you from bleeding internally. So the doctors tell you that LDL is bad, right? They say that's the bad cholesterol. It's actually a way that is protecting you. You just got to stop creating damage in the arteries and the veins so your body stops laying this plaque down. So spearmint is an antioxidant that helps to clear up free radicals to keep your organs healthy. So that's
Google, stop playing.
Google, stop playing. Yeah, good one. Yeah, tell it to stop playing. May reduce facial hair in women. Now, this is one for the ladies that are getting a little up in age because you end up getting facial hair. So, in a 5-day study, 12 women with PCOS and 9 women with facial hair due to unknown causes were given 2 cups of spearmint tea twice a day during the follicular phase of their menstrual cycle. While the study was not long enough to determine whether spearmint affects facial hair, the women's testosterone levels were reduced. Now, in a longer 30-day study in 41 women, PCOS women who drank 2 cups a day of spearmint tea reported a reduction in their hair loss, in facial hair. Remember, the oil is thousands of times more potent than the tea. But if tea's doing it, Imagine how much a bigger bang for the buck you're going to get using an oil. There's one about memory. Now, all of this stuff was done on a mouse, and remember the medical research is all done on mice, right? So they transfer everything from a mouse to a human. They also use horses as well in some of this research, which I won't cover that tonight. But what I've discovered is they do a lot of this stuff on horses as well. And if it happens on a horse, it's definitely going to happen in a human. And what happens in a rat, according to the science, definitely happens in a human, even though they don't make it that clear. So that's what all the research is telling us in the drug world. Okay, when it comes to natural therapies, the word may means definitely because they don't want to make it a definite if it's a natural. So studies have shown that mice given spearmint extract experience improved learning and memory as shown by their performance on the maze test. In more recent studies, older adults with memory impairment who were given daily supplements containing 900 milligrams of spearmint extract experienced 15% improvement in working memory. Working memory is known as the short-term memory. Remember, all of this is directly off scientific research. Look at this, fights bacteria infections. Studies have found that spearmint essential oil is effective against several types of harmful bacteria. Additionally, it's been shown to work against bacteria that causes foodborne illnesses, including E. coli and listeria. Now, I don't know if you've heard of listeria. It's actually found in pork products, which is one reason why I don't eat pork. But there's other things that have it too. So there was actually a factory in Virginia, United States, in 2024 that had an outbreak of listeria, and the CDC, the CDC and the USDA traced it back to that particular meat that was sold in delis across the country because listeria was found in the meat. It's a very dangerous bacteria. It's also part of what happens in water. You heard of Guardia, well, listeria is another one. And it causes so much death and destruction, especially with people with impaired immune systems. So there you go. Spearmint oil counteracts even listeria. Studies have found that, again, several, okay, yeah, I've just said that, yeah. So now here's another one. Now this may, like, that's nonsense. It 100% does because I've proved it. I've had that button on my arm, remember? 100%. In one study, rats were given spearmint extract equivalent to 9 milligrams per pound or 2 milligrams per kilo of body weight, while healthy rats appeared unaffected. Rats with diabetes had significantly lower blood sugar. In another 21-day study in rats with diabetes, animals given 300 milligrams per kilogram of body weight per day of this type of extract showed 25% reduction in blood sugar. Aloxane. Have you heard of aloxane? Actually, I'm going to cover that in a second, but just give you a clue. Aloxane is a drug specifically to make rats diabetics. It damages the ability of the mouse's pancreas to produce insulin. Now, if they're doing it in rats, are they causing that to happen in other types of mammals? I don't know. But fancy producing a drug that will cause the pancreas to stop producing insulin. I think that's diabolical. Diabolical. It may help reduce stress. May, again, there's that magic word, may. In fact, in South America countries, this tea is commonly used to treat stress and insomnia. In one study in rats, there's the rats again, a spearmint extract was found to decrease anxiety and improve sleep. There's a bit more down there about GABA. Again, you guys can go back over this later. This information is amazing, and you can read the whole entire stuff directly off the website. May, oh, there's that word again, may. I've just taken snapshots from the web page, by the way. This is not me typing. I've just underlined stuff. Spearmint may help relieve joint pain caused by arthritis. There's one for you, Rosie. In one 16-week study in 62 people with arthritis of the knee, regular spearmint tea consumed twice daily, and that's just the tea. Imagine what the oil will do. Reduce stiffness and physical disability, while a spearmint tea high in rosmarinic acid relieve the same symptoms and reduce pain. Now, rosmarinic acid is not in the oil. Carvone is not rosmarinic acid. So that is in the tea. So if I was you, I'd actually be getting some good quality spearmint tea or grow spearmint in your garden and make the tea yourselves as well as doing the oil. May, boy, they love that word, don't they? Help lower blood pressure. Spearmint may help lower high blood pressure. In fact, in one animal study, carvone was shown to be 100 times more potent at reducing blood vessel constrictions than verapamil, a commonly used blood pressure medication. Did you get that? 100 times more potent. But then look at the top. They said may. How crazy is that, eh? But it was 100 times. So how does May become 100 times? I don't know. There's the web page down there if you want to read the whole entire articles. It's all there in black and white. Like I said, none of this is my information. The fresh leaves of M. spicata, which is spearmint, were obtained from, there you go, that city in blah, blah, blah. The air-dried leaf of M. spicata plant was hydrolyzed by 3.5 blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's just showing you what materials and what methods they use. Don't need to get bogged down with that. Here's the preparation test for microorganisms. Don't need to, you can go back over that. Let's see, look at this. The antibacterial activity of M. spicata essential oils was tested against bacteria, including Staphylococcus aureus. And look at that. Subtilis, ceres, monocytogens. And look at all this E. coli, Trophirum, I can't even pronounce some of these, but these strains are some pretty toxic strains of bacteria. And this little guy knocks them out. Like, this is incredible information, eh? These are the compounds that are found in this oil. Menthone, menthol. By the way, if you find a menthol anywhere, it's synthetic and it's been extracted from things like peppermint and spearmint. So this is the essential composition of spicata, which is the spearmint, via GCMS, gas chromatography, and mass spectrometry. That's how they get it, which is why Young Living gets it. Same thing. Antibacterial activity, antibacterial effects against the microorganisms. Generally, the results of the present study showed that gram-positive bacteria were more susceptible to spearmint essential oil than gram-negative bacteria. Monocytogens was the most sensitive of the microorganisms to the antibacterial activity of spearmint essential oil. Hope you're keeping up. Look at this, bacteria. These are all the bacteria that it knocks out. Point blank, bang, gone. Very, very powerful. There you go, essential oil by diffusion, assay. Don't need to worry about that. But these are just the graphs to prove what we're saying is what they've been testing in our science. Now, conclusion. One of the conclusions, the result of the present study indicate that M. spicata, which is a spearmint essential oil, has remarkable, antibacterial activity against common foodborne bacteria associated with outbreaks. And there they are. Don't we go over them? The essential oil of mentha plant collected from that province west of Iran has the potential to be applied as antibacterial agent. Here's one from PubMed. Study of hypoglycemic, hypocholesteromic, and antioxidant activities of Iranian mentha spicata, which is spearmint leaves extract in diabetic rats. You can Google that straight away and get this whole entire article. This is the rest, some of this. Diabetes mellitus is a chronic metabolic disease characterized by hypoglycemic result from absolute or relative lack of insulin. We all know that, okay? So Menthus spicata, which is known as spearmint, belongs to the Limosia family, blah, blah, blah. Compounds. The main compounds isolated from different extracts of spearmint include flavonoids, terpenoids. Some of you long-term oilers know about these names. Phenols. There are monoterpenes such as carvone. Yeah, you will look at the carvone in a minute. Limonene. We all know the value of limonene for that word start with C. Menthone, menthol, pulgone, dihydrocarvone, S-carvone, spearmint oil. Aqueous leaf extract of this plant is used to relieve hiccup, flatulence, giddiness, a remedy for inflammation, bronchitis, and also to control of vomiting during pregnancy. Man, that I'd love women to try that. I know Alina could have benefited. We didn't even know about it back then. That would have been incredible to know if that worked. Well, they say it does. Anti-inflammatory, hemostatic, and pain-relieving properties have been identified in two monoterpenoids. Remember, Gary created a formula called Sleek, the Sleek oil? Now we know why. Now, there are some healing components inside of spearmint oil, as we've just seen, and drug companies all over the world are isolating and synthetically producing and manufacturing products like Wrigley's spearmint chewing gum. I think there's Eclipse mints. Toothpaste is loaded with synthetic spearmint. But I wouldn't touch the synthetics because we know that they're a poison and they create side effects. So why not use the real thing? There's a clue. Diabetes was induced in these albino rats by a single intraperitoneal injection of 150 milligrams of aloxane. There's that wonderful drug. The rats were fasted for 16 hours prior to the induction of diabetes. Developing of diabetes was confirmed by measuring the fasting blood sugar levels of rats using that particular glucose meter 6 days after the administration of this toxic, poisonous aloxane. Why would you create a drug that destroys the pancreas's ability to create insulin? The mind boggles. Now look at this one. The rats were randomly divided into 4 groups. Remember what happens in a rat happens in a human. 6 rats in each group are given in this below. Group 3 got glibenclamide, which is used to treat type 2 diabetes in Australia. So anyone that's got type 2 diabetes in Australia that's under medical supervision is going to get glibenclamide issued to them to balance their blood sugar levels. Look at group 4 was given MSLA. That stands for Mentha spicata leaf aqueous extract, which is your spearmint oil. Look at the results. Now, the total phenolic capacity and reducing power of MPLA and MSLA. Now, one of them refers to peppermint and one of them refers to spearmint. The MSLA refers to spearmint. The results show that the total phenolic capacity and reducing power of spearmint are significantly better than peppermint. Therefore, the leaf aqueous extract of spearmint was selected to evaluate its effect on blood glucose as well as lipid and, okay, go on to the next one. Aloxane, there we go, induced rats. Let's not worry about too much about that at the moment. So the hypoglycemic effect of spearmint was comparable and significantly better than the diabetes drug at lowering blood sugar levels. I know that for a fact because I've done it, even though I'm not type 2 diabetic. But blood glucose levels in rats that orally received the aqueous extract of spearmint significantly reduced to 1,001 compared to diabetic control. The aqueous extract, 300 milligrams, decreased blood glucose levels from 136, these are American numbers, to 101. 101 equates to 5.5 in our Australian amounts. That 4.33 isn't related, okay? So don't look at those. But 100, 101, basically that's the mean, that's the center. That's like almost like perfect. Hypoglycemic effect was quite evident from the 14th day onwards. Glibenclamide also significantly reduced to 0.001 blood glucose level from 140 to 113 in rats that daily received the standard drug. They only went from 140 down to 113. The spearmint went from 136 to 101. So significantly more. Now, here's an interesting little bit of information. 100 micromoles per litre in the US or 5.5 in Australia. So the average blood sugar in the rat was 82, according to this chart, at day 0 of being made a diabetic. Thanks very much, drug. Poor rat. They were at 136 on day 7. Can you see that? After receiving spearmint within 1 week. It went from an average every day of 136 blood sugar down to 127. By day 14, it went to 108. Now, on day 21 and beyond, it was 101, back to perfect. This is without any diabetic drugs. If you look at above at number 3, you'll see the average blood sugar rate of the rats before getting the drug to be induced to be a diabetic. It was 80. So at day 0, when they started the drug, that started that treatment 6 days after getting the drug to make them diabetics, their blood sugar was at 140 on day 7. It was 123 by day 14. It only went down by 1 point a week later to 121. Sorry, 122. By day 21, it went down to 113. So now have a look at day 21. Nothing outperformed in all of those 4 groups, and spearmint was more powerful than the drug glibenclamide. It's laughable, isn't it? Not to mention they had a weight loss during those 21 days. It was significant using the spearmint. I don't know about you, but this is laughable that the system has never mentioned anything. I speak to thousands of people, and I think no one online either has ever heard this information about spearmint. Gary has. I mean, he created the sleek for weight loss, which seems to have just, the information seems to have vanished. But the sleek oil is definitely, according to all his research, for weight loss. It's also going to balance your sugar, your glucose levels. Wow. Effects of spearmint on lipid profile in a loxane-induced diabetic rats. Now, when they give them aloxane, they're not type 2s, they become type 1s. That's the worst. In other words, they're not producing any insulin. So the lipid means the fats, okay? So oral administration of spearmint developed significant reduction of total cholesterol. Did you know that about spearmint and cholesterol? Triglycerides and LDL cholesterol levels in treated diabetic rats as compared to diabetic controlled rats. This result was comparable to the result of the standard drug glibenclamide. Wow. Are you getting any wow moments? If you're not, there's something wrong. This does my head in. Look at this one. HDL should be above 50, and look at it's perfect in the spearmint group in that box at the bottom. 51 is where you need to be after using spearmint. You got the normal saline, you got diabetic control, and the glibenclamide rats. But look at the spearmint at the bottom. So you can go over this later because, like I said, it's all recorded. I just got to keep going so we can get through this. In conclusion, these results clearly demonstrate that M. spicata, which is your spearmint leaf aqueous extract, is rich in phenolic compounds and and has high reducing power of spearmint, which has effective hypoglycemic, hypolipidemia, and lipid peroxidation activities in diabetic rats, may be useful for the clinical treatment of diabetes. There's that maybe again. After seeing this information, you pass the maybe, aren't you? This is definite. Look at this one, Carvone. Do you remember I do the talk on frequencies, and I have a picture up on the board of spearmint and dill, and they are um, the same shape but opposites in the chemical structure. Now, carvone and dill, there's carvone's higher in, sorry, spearmint's higher in carvone than dill is. So, but still, have a look at this information on carvone. It's a monoterpene keynote found in spearmint, Menthus spicata, essential oil that is widely used as an odor and flavor additive. An intestinal antispasmodic effect was recently reported for carvone, and it has been shown to be more potent than an antipode. Hang on, get on to the next one. By the way, that's a photo directly from that web page. Fit phytotherapia, phytotherapia. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's a science journal. Carvone is a monoterpene ketone found in spearmint, essential oil that is widely used as an odor flower. I just read that. I've doubled up for some reason. Understanding carvone antispasmodic effect, we investigated its pharmacological effects in guinea pigs. Terminal portions of the ileum, which is in the colon, were mounted for isotonic contractions. That's the peristalsis, the peristaltic movement. It happens in the large intestines. Carvone was compared with that of the classic calcium channel blockers. How many people do you know that are on calcium channel blockers? They use verapamil. That's a calcium channel blocker. So when you get onto a calcium channel blocker, if you leach calcium out of the cells too much, you end up dead, right? So that's why that's sort of one of the pathways to dying is too much calcium coming out. So they put calcium channel blockers in to extend people's lives. Who knew? Spearmint oil was a CCB. Carbone reduced the contractions induced by high K and was almost 100 times more potent than verapamil. Carbone showed a typical and potent CCB, which is your calcium channel blocker like action. Many effects described for both carbone and spearmint oil can be explained as a calcium channel blocker like mode of action. This is, I know, if you speak to a lot of people that are really not doing well in the health department, in the health category, they are using verapamil, calcium channel blockers. Why not use spearmint oil? No side effects. Wrapping it up now. There's so much more to learn about our spearmint essential oil. Let's wrap it up. All the research showed that taking spearmint oil over an extended 21-day period only multiplied the value of the below symptoms. Here we go. One, this is a recap. Balance blood sugar levels beyond proven. Two, can help to balance arrhythmias in the heart. Three, protection from PCOS and hormone changes. Four, that's polycystic ovarian syndrome, which a lot of women suffer from. Four, balanced cholesterol levels, LDL and HDL. Wow. Increase synovial fluid in joints. Reduce the risk for developing type 2 and type 3 diabetes or dementia. Reduce the risk for developing facial hair in women due to testosterone levels out of balance. That's the DHT. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. No more. Increased female hormones responsible for ovulation, which is your luteinizing hormone and your follicle stimulating hormone. 10, improves memory, fights detrimental bacteria, improves arthritis pain. 13, 14, 15, it just keeps going on and on and on. Roughly, here we go. That's why I've written it here. There's 100 drops per 5 ml bottle. So taking 4 drops twice a day, that's 8 per day over 30 days. That's 240 drops. So that's 2.4 bottles per month. 3 bottles per month is what you will need. And I'll be doing it over 3 months. Get your results. Unbelievable. I'm going to stop screen share now. That was a lot of information in a short period of time, wasn't it? Open for your comments. Anyone? Time to talk. It's over to,
Very, very impressive, Alan.
isn't it incredible?
Yeah. I used to love that spearmint lolly. You know that green leaf lolly? Come on, who else can
Synthetic.
speak to that?
Synthetic.
Oh,
Don't touch the
of course
synthetic.
it was synthetic, but I was all of 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
Just loved it from the lolly shop back in the day.
Oh, sorry, Cressida. I've only just seen this. I didn't approve, but I couldn't see it before. It only just popped up then. I guess, okay, will I stop the recording, or would you like these questions on the recording? Anyone?
Alan, how do you best take spearmint? How do you personally take it?
You watching? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I've had 12 today. Oh well, who's counting?
Okay, so you just put it under straight, or you could just add it to a glass of water or a hot drink.
Well, I prefer it directly in the mucosa, sitting there for a bit, move it around. Then I'll take some Ningxia. I just like it sitting there for a bit. And
That's a good idea in Ningxia.
then push it down. That's nice.
Mm. Do you think
And
you'll get all those benefits with diffusing it, or is it kind of wasting it in a way?
oh man, I wouldn't. I mean, it's nice, but boy, I'd be getting it in.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so much more research than what I've presented. There is tons and tons. And well, Gary had this information way back then anyway, because that's why he made the sleep product. But a lot of people aren't utilizing it because there's not enough information about why people do it. And over 3 months is the magic. You know, extended periods over 21 days is magic. So you're going to need 3 bottles. I'll be getting 3 bottles definitely per month. And the second month you could probably do, or the third month you could just get 2 bottles. But Young Living's going to run out of spearmint when this information gets around. I'll guarantee you, Australia will run out. So don't be caught short. When you start this, you don't want to stop this. I'm not stopping it. I've seen the results with my own blood sugar levels.
Alan, how much is it a bottle? Do you know offhand, or can someone look it up? Or
I don't know, does anyone have it?
About $21 a bottle.
21, is it?
So cheap.
Yeah,
Cheap.
yeah.
That's a cheap insurance policy for your gut, peristalsis, bones, joints, weight loss. Like,
So Alan, for those that sort of don't want to do what you do and, tilt the head back and take, 7 drops, because not everyone can actually tolerate like you. What's the other alternative for getting it in the body, like on the soles of the feet, in the belly button?
well, belly button, yeah, but no, find a way to get it in. Put it with a spoonful of honey or something. I don't know.
It's like toothpaste. It's not that like toothpaste used to be. It's not that hard.
No, it's not.
No, I'm not saying it's hard. I'm just saying that for some people, they find some, the oil's too strong in the mouth. And I just wondered,
What
Yeah,
about
I
if they
know,
mixed it
but
with a bit of black seed oil or something?
yeah,
Yeah,
with the black
yeah.
seed oil.
Some people that are like that can drink Coca-Cola. Like, but their body handles that, but they have trouble with spearmint, or they'll drink lemonade or whatever, and they can't take spearmint. I don't get it. I don't understand that sort of mentality. It's just that what we get used to and what we tolerate is more about it. Now I haven't seen the. Let me see. I've got a big screen in front of me. Chats. There's 30. Wow, 31 chats. Have I missed something? Oh, there they are.
Let us go with the rest.
Yep, sure.
Can I just say, is someone saying take it in veggie capsules? I don't think it would be bad, but it's better to get it directly into the bloodstream because otherwise it goes through all your digestion and
Correct. As
Yeah.
soon as something touches your mouth, inside your mouth. Your body starts to prepare. So if you can take it in your mouth, I would definitely take it in your mouth. If you can't, well, the next best thing is putting a capsule. Like I do my lemongrass, my glutathione bomb. You're not going to put 7 drops of lemongrass under your tongue.
Mm.
That's a bit harsh. But, you know, so spearmint is not hard to take. I find it kind of burns just like that in my mouth neat. Okay. That's again, when things burn, it means that part of the body is acidic. If that part of the body is not acidic, you don't get any heat given off. Like I just put 4 drops in. I don't really feel much at all, but I've been doing it for ages. Good one, Sula.
It is pretty intense because always 2 drops go in. So it's like, whoa, it's strong. Can I ask a question on the testosterone?
Yeah.
How you said it lowers testosterone?
Well, the word should be balance, not lowers.
Sure, okay, because that's like my only hormone that is in range. So I don't want to like jeopardize that.
Yeah.
So you don't think it would lower it? You just think,
No, oils are hemostats. It's called homeostasis. That's what an oil does. It does not put you out of balance. It can't. A drug does. So if you're on it's just an example, right? If you're on diabetic medication and you take spearmint, then what will happen is that will put you back to normal, and then the drug you're taking will push you down further, so you'll end up with a hypo. Right?
I've never heard of that expression, homeostats.
Homeostasis. Well,
I've heard
I think they're called hemostats.
hemostat.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
Hemostats.
I mixed it up. Homeostasis and hemostat. I mixed it up. So homeostasis is the balance, and
yeah.
a hemostat is like a thermostat in your body. That's what the oils are there.
So a hemostat basically balances. So if it's too thin, it thickens it. If it's too thick, it thins it.
Yes, correct.
I find with the spearmint, I was putting it straight under my tongue and it was quite hot. But now I put a little bit of water in and I drop the oils in and I swish it like a mouthwash for about 30 seconds or so. And the small particles get under the tongue, so it goes into the bloodstream faster. And I find it's easier. And then you get good breath as well. But I find, it's easier to do it because when you put it, I heard you say, Sula, about putting it in a glass. When you put it in a glass of water, because the oil is homophobic, is that the word?
I don't think
What's the word?
the right word.
Hydrophobic. It's hydrophobic. So it wants to separate from the water and it'll float
Yeah.
on the top. So as you drink it, most of the oil will stay on your glass. That made me laugh. So if you put a bit of water in your mouth and then drop it, you'll actually be able to get it down better.
Yeah.
I need water now after that.
Wouldn't it be better to put it with a carrier oil, like Cress said?
You could.
Oil,
Yeah, you could.
rather than the water.
Flaxseed oil?
The water and the oil won't mix.
Yeah, you could put it in flaxseed oil.
And maybe just
Water.
to find it hot, just do like 1 drop at a time. So, as Alan said, you might be too acidity
You can build up.
build up to it.
At a meeting, I'm
So,
talking.
water is a driver and fat is a diffuser. So if you put it with coconut oil or whatever and eat it that way, or butter or whatever, it'll actually buffer the effects of the spearmint. But if you use water drives it into the blood.
Is this new research that's just come out, or like?
No, this is old.
Mm.
This is nothing new. It's just that people can't, unless you have a focus. It's hard to know where to drill down to get the information.
So this is just ongoing education.
Yeah, this
It's not
is,
like anything new's just come out.
right, it's
Hey.
all there, been there for years. Now,
Gary created the sleek oil, and if you look in that, spearmint is a big part of the sleek oil.
Yeah, but that must go also for the tea.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I'm not sure if it had a lot of spearmint in there,
Do we still get the tea?
but I know definitely the sleek oil has.
Okay.
50% of spearmint is carbone. The carbone is where the magic is happening. Carbone. And it's also in dill. It's also in coriander, but it's very high in spearmint.
I'm just about to lose you guys. My phone's about to go dead.
Oh. All right, I'll stop the recording now.
The recording has stopped.
Okay, so anyone else? There's a lot of comments here. Mary Kay, thanks for your comments. Add several drops for a delicious drink. Good to know. What does that say, Louise? Aromaes. Comes with September.
Aromaries is in this month's gift with purchase.
Okay. Look at that. Mary Kate said $60 to do all that. Correct. That's a cheap insurance for protecting your weight, protecting your bones, protecting your blood sugar levels. Remember what type 3 diabetes is? What's that called? Can you tell me what type 3 is?
Yeah, Social Security.
I know, but I'm not speaking.
Linda knows.
Dementia. Yeah, dementia.
Yeah.
Correct. And
Yes,
why
yes.
is type 3 diabetes dementia? What's causing dementia?
That's that money. So he got his job now.
Who's speaking? Who's not got their microphone muted?
And he's just like happy to see his gentleman.
Can you mute whoever you are?
It's Melinda, I think.
Melinda? Oh, okay, thanks, Melinda. Looks like you're Melinda. No, Melinda, you turned your mic off. What was I saying? Got sidetracked. Oh, they're type 3. The reason why is when your blood sugar level, your glucose levels are constantly high in the blood, it spikes. Now, it can spike just by eating your standard food during the day. It's going to spike. I know because I did it in September last year. I could not keep my levels balanced. It was off the scale and down low, and the alarms will go off. That's happening to all of us, by the way, because I'm not a type 1 or a type 2 diabetic. So it's happening to you, but your body counteracts it. You've got no clue what's even happening until the pancreas starts to fail or the cells stop absorbing. So you're not going to know what's happening. You're going to think, oh, I feel good all the time. I don't get highs, I don't get lows. Well, you bet your backside you're going to have those going off the scales just by having a pasty or having a drink of zero beer, or go to the pub and you might have a lemon, lime and bitters, or any of those. They're going to shoot your insulin, your glucose levels through the roof. That also then makes you store triglycerides. Triglycerides can end up in the brain. I should be recording this, I forgot. End up in the brain, which then causes plaque and also can cause fat buildup in the adipose tissues. So by balancing that using the spearmint, the type 3 diabetic can't then happen because you're not having that insulin, the glucose spikes in the blood and the highs and the lows causing this plaque buildup, which causes glycosis in the arteries, which then allows you to build plaque. The plaque then stops the neurons from transmitting information in the brain, which brings on your dementia. So if you do end up with dementia, that's caused by a plaque buildup. Now, omega-6 fats also cause plaque buildup in the brain, and because they oxidate. So if you stop the oxidation using thyme oil, then between the thyme oil and the spearmint oil and the glutathione bomb, you've actually covered all of those aspects with lemongrass, copaiba, peppermint, thyme, and spearmint. And did I mention eurythmias with spearmint oil? That was another. Yeah, I did. That was number two. It balanced arrhythmias means heart palpitations, and you can often see people that have heart palpitations because there's a line in their left eye in the sclera that goes to the pupil, and you can tell the bundle branch nerve between the brain and the heart is got multiple sclerosis. Basically, you got myelin starting to peel off those nerves. So the oils are our insurance policy, no doubt whatsoever. You can now send, okay, who was that? Someone just sent me a message. Who was that?
It was Louise. Lauren and Adrian have a question.
I just unmuted. Hi guys, it's Adrian here.
Oh, g'day, Adrian. Sorry, I got
and Lozzie.
And Ciora.
Went on a track then, and I couldn't slow myself down.
Lozzie just wanted to know if there's any restrictions with using spearmint while breastfeeding.
Absolutely not.
No?
Look, hang on, I can't say that. I don't have a white coat and then a bunch of certificates around the wall. Read between the lines. Just do what you feel.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I have no business even commenting on that one. Sorry about that. Have to wear a CGM at least once in your life. Yes, Cress. Yes, definitely. I agree with you. Everyone should wear that CGM, the constant glucose monitor, at least once to have a look at the damage that you're doing to your body without the spearmint. The spearmint is a buffer. It protects us. Point blank. It's in your face. It's so obvious. Just don't use jasmine, reduces breast milk. Okay. Why do we all love jasmine? I know why. You want to hear this? It's got two compounds in it called indole and scatol. And you know what the word scat means, don't you? It's feces. Not my fault. That's what's in there. It's like a dog when he sees poop in the lawn, he wants to rub his nose in it. That's why we love jasmine. We do the same thing. We love that indole and scatol smell. Okay, have to wear CGM. Read also protects pancreatic cells. Yes, it does, definitely. That's why it works the way it does. Slick tea doesn't have spearmint. Oh, okay, Mary Kate. Thanks. Just looking at spearmint research, it says it increases or unchanged for estradiol, increases FSH and LH. Yes, correct. Estradiol will be lowered in men, by the way. You know how you can tell if a man's got estradiol? You watch him on the fair when he's playing golf and he's got his t-shirt and his boobs are doing this as he's walking. That's too much estradiol going on. You often see young boys in their 20s and you see these boobs that are hanging. That's too much estradiol going on in them. So you can see it on the golf course. Add it to your deep spectra drops. Yeah, good one. Can you take other oils when taking spearmint? I do. I take about 40 odd different oils a day. Is there any restrictions for women using? Okay, no. Oh, yeah, Lauren, I've answered that. I take straight on teeth, easy. I only suggest that after Louise's question. Okay, Mary Kate. Miguel, I'm going to try this for weight loss. Good one. But remember, it's about you need to stock up on the spearmint oil because I'll guarantee you they're going to run out. If you don't stock up, they're going to run out.
Alan, I put that Endoflex, Aroma Ease, and Citrus Fresh have spearmint oil for those who don't have it straight away. But Endoflex is good to use around the thyroid as a perfume.
Yeah, absolutely. You stop being a magnet to fluoride and chlorine. Also, if you're having vegetable oils, destroys the thyroid, omega-6 fats. Just avoid those mongrels. Sunflower, safflower, peanut, soy, canola, rice bran, all of them, no good. If you haven't heard that already, you must be living on the moon because I have never stopped talking about it. Oh, look, I just took I just took one drop that was intense. Going to have to build up to 4. Good one. Try it on your teeth. Yeah, it's Mary Kate. I kind of burns just like that in my mouth. Neat. Yeah. I used to spit straight on teeth before I knew this. I just love it. Freshens my breath. Any other questions? I'm just going through these. $60 for all those bottles. Any other questions before we cut the ties? Anyway, look, I hope that was informative tonight. And I hope it wasn't too much information in one hit, but I tell you what, it's valuable information. Dr. Artis, have you all heard of him? If you look him up, he will go through this research as well. It takes him about an hour and a half to go through this. If you want to watch his Brian Artis, he's the venom snake guy that was talking about that, that thing from the year 2020. But he's branched out and he's selling products now because he's getting well known. And he uses spearmint in his, but he won't be getting this quality of spearmint oil. He'll be buying it by the 44-gallon drum and putting it into his product. So I wouldn't be touching that stuff. But I would be buying that one because we know the value of it. Okay.
Alan, Bernadette just asked, you mentioned you don't diffuse spearmint. Do you diffuse?
No, sorry, I'm just going to butt in. Alan, did you say how many bottles we would need a month?
Yeah, three, then 2.
Okay, thank you.
First month 3, second month 3, the third month 2. Okay, what was that question? Who was asking that?
Bernadette asked a question about diffusing.
Okay, what was that? Where's that question?
Alan, it's me here, Bernadette.
You mentioned
during your talk that you don't diffuse spearmint, but I'm wondering if do you diffuse any oils or do you just literally take them by mouth only?
No, I diffuse beside my bed, and what have I got beside the bed at the moment? It's a beautiful balance of both of them. But I've got that diffuser that was got the big light at the front, and they put 2 bottles in. So yeah, I diffuse beside the bed, and I also take a lot of them in my mouth, and I will then put them in my hair and all over my face and under my arms as deodorant. And wherever the sun doesn't shine to get to, I put oils there too.
Can you tell me what oils you do take by mouth, please?
Yep. Hang on. I'll show you.
We'll be here all night, Bernadette.
Just some of them's fine.
I think you can diffuse it. He's just saying for the purpose of it's been through.
Thanks, Louise.
Just take it under the tongue. But diffusing spearmint oil is absolutely beautiful. Just combined, don't diffuse blends. Like you wouldn't diffuse RC and purification. So Gary was a master blender. So everything is so beautifully formulated in the blends. A lot of people think that they have to go and put blends together. So I would never, ever diffuse 2 blends together. But you could get, purification, or you could get a blend and add spearmint to it. You can add a single to it, but you don't need to diffuse blends, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but diffusing spearmint is gorgeous. Spearmint's beautiful with RC, actually.
Yeah, well, there's the 2 I'm doing in mind, lemongrass and RC.
Oh my God, that's exactly what I put on tonight.
They smell beautiful together. Yeah. And they come out together of a night time while I'm sleeping. That's with this thing here, this diffuser, because they both go in it together. And they both pump it out during the night. And I tell you what, I cannot, when that comes on, it's like,
You know what? That's exactly what I did tonight. I put those oils in the diffuser, closed off the room, and when I go into the room tonight, it's just going to smell absolutely amazing. And I'm breathing that in.
Who would have thought those two go together? I didn't. But boy, they're just the ants' pants.
Mm.
Okay, here's the oils. Every day I do where is it? 5 drops of copaiba, 5 drops of peppermint, 7 drops of thyme. Remember, thyme is for dementia. If anyone's got dementia or brain issues, thyme oil is the magic. That stops the oxidation of omega-6 fats that no one ever eats, but you all do because you just don't realize you do because it's in so many things. That will stop the oxidation if it sneaks into your body. Clove oil, the highest antioxidant of all oils. It also stops heart palpitations, just like the spearmint does. So there's 2 now that we know stops the heart arrhythmias. And then, of course, lemongrass for your glutathione. Whoop, there is there. So I take all of them internally, 7 drops of that, and seven of thyme, 5 of clove. I used to take 10 of them every night, but I'm down to 5 of those now.
What were they? What was that? That last one?
Clove, I used to take 10 of those in my mouth every night.
Oh, yeah. Spearmint's nothing compared to clove in the mouth.
Yeah. Well, that stops endocarditis. And endocarditis is on the valves of the heart, they're doing this all the time. And what happens, it gets cauliflowers growing on the edge of the valve. And as it's going up and down and closing, opening and closing all the time, the weight of those little, like cauliflowers, breaks the valve back here over long periods of time. And you can often tell you got endocarditis by little black dots. They look like little hemorrhages in the fingernails. And that relates to endocarditis. I used to have it on all my nails. It's all gone now. I put it down to the clove. But then I also take all the supplements as well. I take the omega Jis or omega greens, the bunch, a lot of Ningxia. And at 65, I'm still not wearing glasses, surprisingly. Maybe it's got something to do with the Illumini's and all the Ningxia I'm eating, drinking. And then I do the 8 sulfazyme. I know Olaf does about 16 sulfazyme. And I do just doing 1 BLM. I do the vitamin D.
And can I just say the 16 sulfazyme, maybe it's not quite, maybe it's about 12 or so, but it's simply because he had bone on bone and, was targeted for knee surgery and didn't want to have it. So he just took it. And if he doesn't take it for whatever reason, he notices a difference in his knees.
It takes 3 months for sulfazyme to get to the gristle, to the
cartilage.
Yeah, it's 3 months. Oh, another thing, did I mention that spearmint builds synovial fluid in the knees to help stop bone on bone? It keeps the lubrication. Now, how did they find that out? They did it on horses, race horses.
Like MSM.
Yeah. So if you put MSM, which is a sulfazyme, and spearmint together, and if you've got a horse that's having issues, well, remember what happens on a horse, 100%, everyone knows happens in a human. What happens in rats happens in a human, right? So if anyone's got horses and they've got horse issues, I'll be having spearmint and sulfazyme for the horses. And you do it for yourself anyway, for your knees and your joints. Building synovial fluid is like putting engine oil in your engine. It stops the grinding, allows the bearings to be free flowing.
You mentioned Illuminize before. I just want to take the opportunity, given that we have so many people on board here. Guys, try that supplement. If we don't try these supplements, because they do work, and use them, we're going to lose them. So the only way that we're going to keep these wonderful supplements is by all of us using them. And I know, look, I used to wear glasses and I had my glasses on earlier and it was sort of all too much. So I don't have to use my glasses as much as I did before, that's for sure.
Yeah,
So
good, good. It's so good. We've got the most mind-blowing substances in these oils, and you can't tell it to the public in masses because it's not what do you call it, compliant.
yeah.
It's such a shame that we can't teach this publicly. There'd be so much less sickness in the world. And we know why it's happening because Big Pharma hates us and would love to see Young Living disappear. But I think we've got God on our side, and I don't think it's going to disappear because that's a counteract of evil, what's going on in this crazy world.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ellen, do you take other supplements like from the health shops?
There's nothing in the health shop I can buy. It's all rubbish. I stopped taking that about when oils come along, my pantry full of herbs vanished. Totally and absolutely useless compared to what I've found with the oils. There's no comparison. I do not waste my money in the health food store. Unless I go to buy carob banana, I like them. That's about all I buy in a health food store. Carob bananas. I might get some kefir occasionally, but as for herbs and vitamins and minerals and stuff, nah, it's all commercial, complete. Well, I shouldn't say it. Useless to me, put it that way. I don't spend a cent in those poor shops. Sorry, shops, if you own health food stores, I really don't patronize them much at all. There's nothing there, nothing more powerful than what we got.
I've just got one question, sorry, Alan. I think you mentioned in the write-up about tonight about thiamine, is it? Is that a supplement? Is that only available from the US?
Yeah, NFR. Yeah, we desperately would love to have thiamine here for the thyroid because people are destroying their thyroid every single day because vegetable oils destroy the thyroid. So do chemicals. You end up becoming a magnet because the iodine gets depleted and your body then becomes a magnet to fluoride and chlorine. That destroys the iodine receptors. The receptors are blocked. And then there's fluoride in a lot of products. Like green tea is loaded with fluoride. So if you're drinking green tea and you're a magnet to fluoride because you destroyed the iodine, you're going to be flooding your thyroid with more fluoride purely because you got blocked receptors. And if you're having vegetable oils and you're doing that, you're not doing yourself any good. You're a chemical disaster. So thiamine would be brilliant to have, but then putting myrrh and frankincense here is good too. Now I forgot to mention before the hypothalamus gets calcified as well, and spearmint actually. You just remember spearmint clears. I'm pretty sure it was the hypothalamus clears the calcium in the hypothalamus, which brings on stress if that's stressed. So you get stressed out. So yeah, spearmint also balances the calcium in that part of the endocrine system. Sorry, that was a sideline then.
Thanks.
Yeah, Sula said the pineal gets calcified.
Well, the pineal does, but also there's the other part of the endocrine system in the brain too. And artists mentioned that, and I've seen it in the research.
Mm.
Yeah, we know the calcium, the pineal gets calcified, but there's, what is it? Is it the hypothalamus or the, anyway, I think I've forgotten that one. There's so much to remember.
Better get some more spearmint.
I'm doing it.
Take
I'm
another
doing
drop.
Alan, sorry, it's me again. I've just got one more thing.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has hypercalcemia. She got it while she was pregnant or just after she had the baby, which is where you get like too much calcium in your joints and stuff, and you can't move your arms. And
Yeah.
do you suggest just starting her off on like a small amount? I'm sure she's on pharma drugs for it. She doesn't want to be. She's a natural person normally, like doesn't really go down that path. But because it is, it can like it might kill her. I think she's a bit nervous about that because she just had a baby. So if I was to suggest this to her, would you suggest her starting off a little bit smaller than the 4 drops? Or I don't know whether or not, or more than 4 drops?
Drops is not that much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be going under 4 drops.
Okay.
If she got calcium leaching out of her cells, that's a spiral dive to death. Then they end up having calcium channel blockers, and
Yeah.
they may be giving her that, which
Yeah.
means you're going to have some serious side effects in the liver,
Mm.
and you end up there's about 3 different drugs they have, because once the calcium channel blockers are there, then you've got to stop the leakage out of the plasma coming out of the blood into the surrounding tissue. You end up with edema. So then you've got to have a drug to stop that, because it causes a glycation in the main arteries. And that brings on plaque, which then brings on blood pressure. The blood pressures start increasing. So it's a spiral dive to not a very nice road. I would definitely, since it is a natural calcium channel blocker, 100% they would be using it for sure. And I would be pushing 4 to 10 drops a day. Somehow, even if she takes 1 every hour, 1 drop an hour during the working hours, there's 10 drops for the day for 10 hours. Yeah, I mean, why would you not?
Oh, I don't think I even considered anything like this. So
they wouldn't know anything.
It was very interesting when you said it. I thought of her straight away. So yeah, no, thanks. I've already texted her and said, would you like to try this?
No one's ever heard of spearmint being a calcium channel blocker, because that's a serious drug. It's the CCBs.
Yeah.
And here he is right in front of us. We've got spearmint right in front of us, under our noses.
Thanks.
We are so blessed to have had this information. All I can say is thanks, Gary, and also thanks, Dr. Artis, for bringing it to my attention again. Any difference with taking drops AM, PM, or spacing out over the day? I don't think it matters. I just have it on an empty stomach. That's what I reckon. Hypoglycemia, may want to consider getting her HTMA done. Yeah. Is taking magnesium? I hope not. Is she taking magnesium? I hope not. That's Mary Kay. Thinking what you said in Perth. I think that's what you said in Perth. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think that's probably going to wrap us up for the night. I think we've a little bit gone over time. But thanks for your questions tonight. It's been a good night, and I think we've learned a lot. I know I have. I never stop. Oh man, I never stop learning. But a lot of this stuff will disappear when I try and look at the next subject. But it's always fascinating. Never stop learning. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging around, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. And I will see you in a month's time, I guess, with some other exciting information. I don't know what yet. Something will come up. Oh, there's 5 new stories, subjects. Thanks so much. Appreciate your teaching, Vicky. I love what you share. Thanks, Joanne. Thanks, guys. Love you guys. Thanks heaps. I'll see you in Adelaide.